Hello, everybody. We're back again here on Talk Football Live. It's the regular crew, the ABC crew. Myself, Ayo. I've got Biodun and Charles. And we're here. Before we go on, real quick, please like, share, subscribe.
Please,
Um,
please,
as
please, please.
as
Yep.
as
Like, share,
always,
subscribe.
Please and thank
Let's
you.
grow this. Let's grow this base, please. We're begging
Yep.
you.
we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Our focus is still on the Premier League. The season is over now, but let me show you guys the table. So I think last time we were on here, we were talking a lot about how things might shape up. Those positions went until the very last day of the season. Besides Liverpool, everything else was still a bit of a toss up in the air. Now we know the season is over. Arsenal finished second, City third, Chelsea fourth, Newcastle fifth. Those are your Champions
I
League
didn't like that.
qualified clubs. So those five clubs will be in the Champions League, along with Tottenham, who won the
League.
Europa League. So we will have six leagues from the English Premier League in the Champions League. Aston Villa will be in the Europa League, and Crystal Palace will also be in the Europa League because of their win in the FA Cup.
Yep.
Now, the season is over. It just ended last week, but believe me when I tell you, things are already shaping up for next season. And how? People are already making transfer deals.
Yep.
And we're gonna give you guys the latest on what's going on today. Liverpool have made their first signing. We know Trent Alexander-Arnold has gone over to Real Madrid. Real Madrid actually paid 10 million to have him break his contract early so he could play for them in the Club World Cup. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you more about the Club World Cup next week. But Trent left, and as fast as that, they've signed Jeremy Frimpong over from Bayer Leverkusen, so they have a new right back.
Yep.
You guys want to? What other rumors are you guys hearing about Liverpool? I think that's one confirmed signing for Liverpool at the top of the table. They're shaping up for a title
Yep.
challenge. What
That
else
one
are we
Yeah,
hearing?
so the-
works.
the- there are rumors linking strikers to them, and we can talk about that real quick. So we can talk about, and I can ask you guys: do you think Liverpool should get a new striker, or do you think Jota is still going to be relevant, and do you think Núñez should be given another season to prove himself? What do you think?
Who do you want to answer that?
Both of you, but I want responses from both of you.
I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that's even a question
Okay.
because when you mentioned Jota, I'm like, yeah, okay, you're making a good point. But Núñez, I don't know how much.
The question is, should he be given another season?
So here's the thing: yes and no. Yes, in the
Okay.
sense of Liverpool are still in four competitions: Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League, and Carabao. They need all hands on deck. They need as many players as possible. I think any team in four competitions should have at least three strikers. Now all three are not going to start. So if Jota is going to be a makeshift striker, Núñez is a striker. I think they need one more, just to a very solid striker that will probably be the main starting striker to support likes of Salah in the Premier League and maybe Champions League. Jota can be a backup, and then Núñez will play for like FA Cup or Carabao. So yes, Núñez will be given a chance, but for FA Cup and Carabao Cup, not for the Premier League or Champions League.
So you're saying keep Núñez, keep Jota, buy another striker?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let me hear you before.
So for me, the conversation is maybe not so much about Núñez. I think it's because there are rumors linking Luis Diaz away from Liverpool. And if you guys notice,
He
Luis
said he's
Diaz,
staying.
he said he's staying.
Well, not confirmed, but there was a news today that said
Yeah.
he's staying. There was a news today that also says Slot said he's not leaving, that he's not releasing it, that he's staying.
Okay, so for me, when we talk about Núñez, I like Núñez actually. I mean, we talked about it when he signed for Liverpool in 2022. It's been 3 years now, right? I wanted him to come to Liverpool because I saw him at Porto, and I'm like, wow,
You
this
wanted
guy.
him to come to Arsenal, or you wanted him to come to Liverpool?
I wanted him to come to Arsenal when that transfer was happening,
That's what
right?
you mean. Okay.
So it was like, oh wow, like I saw him play in the Champions League. It's like this guy knows where the net is. We need a striker. This guy should come to Arsenal. But it's been 3 seasons in the Premier League. When I look at his stats, he scored 5 goals this season in almost 30 games. I think last season he had 11. His first season he had 8. So when you look at those numbers, it's like this is not a guy you can rely on in the
No, it's
Premiership.
like how much
So you
again?
need a striker. And
Cost
Jota
them
is
like
not
what?
really your traditional striker.
Yep.
You know, he will
Jota is
score, but if you need an alternative to Jota, Núñez is probably not the person you want to bring on to get you goals. So
are you saying Núñez should leave?
I think he should leave. Now,
Okay.
should he come to Arsenal?
Now,
That's
No.
the question.
yeah, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
It looks good. It looks good in red, and your color is kind of.
And we're gonna come to Arsenal in a second, but I'll tell you guys, this is why I'm actually a bit suspect about Gyökeres. My pick is actually still Sesko. Because we've seen all the strikers that jam in the Portuguese league, but they come over to the Premier League and it's not always
Okay.
like
So we're gonna
we're
come to
still dealing with
Arsenal
Fabio
because
Vieira.
I have a take on that as well.
We're still dealing with Fabio Vieira.
Hey,
Right?
I'm
It's
gonna
a
log off.
fact.
I'm gonna log off.
He was
I'm gonna log off.
He was excellent in the Portuguese league.
Can we talk about something else, please?
But you know what's so funny? Talking about something else, but not really something else. I actually feel that way about those who come from the German league also. The Timo Werners, the Kai Havertz, you know. I don't think they replicate the form they bring from the German league in the Premier League, which is where Sesko comes in. Now, would it be the same case? We don't know that. But I think the way you feel about Portuguese league is the way I feel about the German league. I've never really been a fan of bringing especially attackers from the German league.
So, what league do you want players to come from?
French league players do well.
French league, even if you want to come from Italian,
we have
Spanish league, I'll take you. I mean, ideally, my go-to is always those who already have the Premier League experience. If I were to get players, you know,
Okay.
Premier League experience.
Let's try to wrap up Liverpool, right? The reason I asked you guys, and I will tell you,
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
it's the I'm looking at a broader picture. I am really worried.
Like you were worried last summer.
No. Let me land my point. You guys don't know where I'm going. You guys don't know where I'm going.
Worried about.
Very worried about next season with the signings Liverpool have done and they are about to do. Liverpool has signed Frimpong.
Yeah.
Good for them. Liverpool is about to sign Kekeres.
Let's.
No.
Oh.
Kekeres from Bournemouth?
Yeah. Did I say his name correctly? The defender?
Kirkers. Yeah. Kirkers.
They're about to sign Kirkers.
Left back.
Right?
Yeah, left back.
Okay. So those two, I mean, Kirkers will probably be announced this week or early next week. Liverpool has made the third bid for Wirtz, Florian Wirtz, right? That's dangerous, right? Yeah. Liverpool is going to keep McAllister, Zoboslai, right? Gakpo, Diaz, right? You're going to keep those people, right? And even Endo, they didn't have a great season, which were like, oh, they should sell him. Endo says he wants to fight for a shirt, so he wants to stay as well, right? The only area where I think will be weakness for us to exploit is their defense. The center back, right? Yep. Konate hasn't got a new contract, so we don't know whether he's going to stay or not, or he's going to be poached. Yep. What's his name? Van Dijk. I don't think he will have a better season than he has had before because he's getting older. So that's probably the weak area, but they're trying to get strong on the wings, on the sides. So they're bringing in Frimpong and they're bringing in Kirkers. That same Liverpool, you guys are saying they should buy a striker. I really want them to be confused and not have money. I know they will have money because they didn't buy any player last season, so they should still be within FFP, limits. So they should be good. If they signed a striker, we can just close and just forget and just play for second, third, fourth because it won't be easy on anybody. And that's where I'm going. If it makes sense to you guys, buying a striker, they will just be too strong.
What if the striker doesn't click?
And I'm hearing them being linked to Isak. Did you guys know that they're actually trying to? Yeah, they are exploring Isak option beneath.
I don't think any EPL club can buy Isak.
It makes sense for Isak not to be bought. But until the season starts and Isak stays, I don't want to believe anything. This is football. Things have happened and things can happen. Right?
True that.
If you want, as a player, see it this way. As a player, if he wants to leave, he can leave because he's not losing anything. He's losing a team. He's leaving a team that is going to play Champions League to another team that will play Champions League. And it's probably saying my probability of winning trophies, more trophies there and Champions League is probably over there. So he could do that if he wants. Then I think he had said it before that, he's going to leave Newcastle at some point. He's won for them, so he could leave. The problem is they will make it difficult for him to leave.
Yeah.
because of the cost.
That fee is astronomical.
And if any club, if you are spending 109 on Florian Wirtz, I'm just questioning that decision. I actually think it's too much money, and I don't think it's worth it. Honestly, I love Florian Wirtz. He and Musiala on the same level. I like him better than Musiala because he's very progressive. To be honest, why is Musiala not in the market if Florian Wirtz is in the market? Let's be fair. Why are clubs not splashing money on
maybe Bayern?
He's as good. To me, I think it's better. It's just that he needs to mature his game. Florian Wirtz is more forward-looking. He's very progressive and quick with it. Musiala likes to dribble around.
You guys see the goal he scored today against Portugal?
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So, but that's another conversation that we should have. Then, speaking about Bayern Munich real quick, I don't know how you guys feel, but I actually feel that Company being the manager, I think is affecting Bayern in the way that people are not seeing. He's failing to attract players. Players deny Bayern Munich has never happened like this. I mean, since I've been watching football in my life, Bayern Munich attracts talent and they get players they want. Players are denying Bayern Munich currently, and I don't know.
Are you saying that because of Wirtz or other
players? Company.
No, I mean, which other player would they normally have signed that you're not?
Sane is not renewing contracts.
Sane is old.
No, I know, but that should be an easy pull for them to get his contract.
Is coming to Arsenal though.
That's what I'm saying. No, Arsenal is just trying to take advantage because of the relationship with Arteta. But many years ago, it shouldn't be difficult. Now, let me remind you before the season.
I don't want Sane at Arsenal, by the way.
No. I want Sane if you are getting another winger. You should just come here to support. But we can talk about that when we get to Arsenal. The point I'm trying to make here is Kimmich pulled the same lever. He kind of played this trick to get a new contract. Like Bayern Munich usually gets their boys in line. Line. Their player is taking them like extra work to get them a renewed contract. Kimmich renew after this back and forth. Leroy Sané hasn't renewed. They lost what's it called? This defender on a free what's it called? No, that was Bayer Leverkusen going to them. But not even Wirtz, who is a German player. Everybody wants to play for Bayern Munich. That's the dream of every young German.
Yeah,
for him to even like ignore them completely, I think that's worrisome, and I don't know if it's based on Company. I'm just going to leave that there.
Okay. All right. So Liverpool is getting ready to try and win the title again next season. All right. Which club is next? Chelsea?
About that.
Let's talk about Man City.
Let's go to Chelsea because Chelsea are the other club that have already signed a player. They've signed already.
Yeah. Chelsea have the confirmed.
No, they've signed more than Delap.
The best striker in the world, soon to be.
Oh goodness.
Liam,
oh God.
Delap 9, also called D9, LD9, whichever you're going to say it. But anyways, Chelsea has signed Delap. I'm happy. I'm really happy because when rumors were flying during the season about he has a relationship with Maresca, it's a possibility. Maresca praised him at some point, like, oh, it's someone he has worked with before, I'd like to work with again. I'm like, oh, it won't be a bad idea. I've watched a few of their games and of Ipswich games. And I'm like, this guy is actually decent. Especially at that young age. I wouldn't mind. So once that deal was sealed, I was like, yeah, let's go. There are rumors that we're in the market for another striker, but nobody knows how true that is. We have other positions to fill. We also have the goalkeeper.
You said several times that you guys have signed Osimhen though. Like,
okay,
I was expecting that to be announced.
Summer is not over. Summer is not over. Osimhen's story is different. Osimhen knows what he wants. It seems like Chelsea can offer him what he wants, so that deal may be closed. But anyway, moving on. We have the goalkeeper position. I'm sorry. We have the AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Maignan. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mike Maignan.
Yeah. Rumor has it he's on the list. The problem is AC wants, I think, 30 million.
30 million.
Yeah, Chelsea are saying they can't give more than 15, something like that. So, I mean, I would say Chelsea pay 15 and give them 2 goalkeepers. We have like 9 goalkeepers. So I don't understand why this.
I can't believe you guys are being stingy though. Like Maignan is definitely worth 30 million.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I read it too. But the thing is, after spending 1 point something billion, at some point you have to wake up. and realize you can't do
Did you actually call the number? By the way, you are lying.
I don't
And
understand.
he's
Why
30
are you
years old,
reducing
so
the
it's
number?
not like,
I
I mean,
never
he's
heard you
like,
admit that you guys spent $1 billion.
I've never denied it either. It's out there to see. So it's not
guy,
something I
at this point, it's like
If you're admitting
1.5
it,
or
then
2
save the
billion.
real number. Save the real number, Charles.
It's
This
like
is not
1.3, 1.3,
no,
1.3.
no, Charles.
It's
Do not lie.
1.5.
Do not lie on.
It's 1.3. 1.3, 1.5 was the difference. The
Okay.
point
200 million. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Focus. The point is
200 million. Oh,
You guys are
it's
missing-
plenty. The money is
Charles.
plenty.
the
Charles,
point is
if you want to talk about something,
yeah,
talk
now
about
waking
it.
up. to
Talk
spend
about it
this
with
day.
honesty.
Say that one more time.
If you want to say something, say it with honesty.
That's
Okay,
that's
I
as
like
honest
Charles.
it gets with you. So, anyways, the Mike Maignan thing, I don't know if Chelsea. The thing is, Chelsea has about 8 to 9 goalkeepers. So now we do need a new real goalkeeper because a lot of all these guys.
Wait,
I don't
all
know
these
what's going
keepers
on.
are not real goalkeepers? Like,
Let's
see,
let's-
the way these
let's-
Chelsea
let's
people
go there.
talk, the arrogance,
Let's not go there.
arrogance.
The point is,
I don't get it.
We are trying to get the goalkeeper that can really, really step up. Considering we're not in the Champions League, so something seriously. But Chelsea are saying they have a lot of goalkeepers. They are fine with who they have. They don't really need Mike.
Yeah,
Magic
you guys
Mike
have Robert Sanchez.
did him recently, but
Yeah.
I think we do need him. So I think we should.
Okay, hold on.
You've
Let
got
Let me
Super
ask you a
Sanchez.
question. What is wrong with Ramsdale? It's free. It's available. He doesn't
Whatever
want to
is wrong with
championship.
him was the reason you guys shipped him out.
No.
So I'll leave it there. Anyways, talking about Chelsea, I know we are also
So
trying.
who else?
Are you not going to talk about Dario Esugu? Or you didn't know you signed that guy?
No, those are so I'm talking about the
It's one of those. It's one of those boys that
So
you
hold
buy and
on,
sell.
hold on.
It's
Let's
expensive.
focus on who else is being linked to Chelsea.
No, seriously,
Which other?
it's a signing. It's a signing. They actually announced the signing before the lab.
wait now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Darius Sugo. Yeah.
But let's
I don't like it. You disrespecting the guy. It's a signing that was announced everywhere.
Biodun, do you want to talk about him?
I mean, why would you not talk about it? Are you
Okay, you
not proud
talk
that he's
about
a
it.
Chelsea player?
Talk about him. I want to hear you talk about him.
Okay,
But I was
okay,
gonna- I was
okay,
gonna-
want me to talk about it? Okay.
Coming
30
in,
seconds,
because-
Ayo. 30 seconds, Ayo. 30 seconds,
Okay.
Ayo.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so another teenage that is that they committed to prison for another 7-8 years old, 7-8 years in prison.
Exactly.
Dario Esugo. Then today was announced that the judge actually pronounced the judgment on Delap for another 6 years in prison. So he's going to Chelsea's prison for 6 years. He has signed sealed a slavery contract of 6 years.
Are you done?
Congratulations to those prisoners of Chelsea that they just announced, and looking
All
forward
right.
to the ones that they're about to.
Chelsea. We also have the likes of Estavio and what's that guy's name? That are coming from loan spells. So with those guys coming in, well,
You guys have like about 25 to 30 players
Yes.
on loan. Are they all coming back, including Ryan Sterling?
So who is that? Anyways, so we're trying to
Chelsea
bring
player.
those guys in, and hopefully, we don't have to spend too much money.
Former England player,
Ryan Sterling.
former Man City player.
I don't know who that is. Ryan Sterling is eventually going to leave. Hopefully, he leaves this summer. Hopefully, Arsenal buys him. That would be really, really good.
Hold on. When does
We
his
already
contract
said
expire?
bye-bye.
It's not that easy though.
He has 2 years.
Yes.
He has 2 years to go.
He has 2 years more.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't get rid of him. You have to loan him again.
Yeah, of course. That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you
it's
don't loan him,
Chilwell,
you're going to pay the salary anyways.
one more person. Yeah. I mean, if you loan him, you're going to pay maybe half or 60%, something like that.
That's the thing. Arsenal tried to help him and help you. It didn't work out. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't think any EPL club would take him on loan again.
I
Yeah,
doubt
but
it either.
The
Yeah,
The
he
money
might
is
have
a
to
lot.
leave.
The money is a lot.
he can go to championship.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
The
he'll
money
go
is
to a
lot.
different
He
league.
can't afford the pay.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I know. He's going to go to a different league. I mean, the thing about this is
The best thing is for you to sell him. I think a Saudi club might buy him.
Yeah, now Saudi
The best
club.
thing is to sell him.
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, as of right now, Mike Maignan is a rumor. We have the likes of Delap is confirmed.
Sugo is confirmed.
Yes, it's confirmed. And I think that's about it.
Right.
That's about it for Chelsea for now. I know there are a
Right.
lot of
Okay.
but we don't no news yet. So
Okay. On to Man City then. Man City is being linked with Tijani Reinders from AC Milan and Ryan Cherky from Lyon. Those are the two signings
I'm just
that we've
thinking
heard
of
so
what Man
far.
City
Those
is
two
trying to
seem to be. Huh?
I'm just thinking of what Man City is trying to do with all these players. That's crazy. That's a lot of players.
They need to. They're rebuilding. So
Yeah.
and they need some experienced players. They are losing De Bruyne. They are losing Gundogan. Kovacic is in his
Is good
like
one
32,
confirmed? Is good
33.
one confirmed?
Whether or not he's confirmed, I mean,
Where is he going?
he's
I
what
don't know. I
34,
don't know where he's
35
going.
now.
I don't know where he's going.
The point is they need to rebuild that midfield.
Yeah.
Really, the only real
Rodri is
midfielder they
bad.
have right now is Rodri. That's the only real midfielder. Kovacic
Rodri
is what,
bad.
32?
They bought Nico Gonzalez.
Okay.
Right?
Who is really a backup to Rodri.
Yes,
He's
so
not
it's
going to
be
start
there.
with Rodri.
I think they are strong and they just want to be stronger. So they have Nico Gonzalez, they have Rodri. Kovacic is going out on a surgery. He will be back. He's old, but he will be back to filling once in a while, right? They have all these young players as well.
Who else in midfield?
Right? In midfield,
which is why they're signing Rangers and Turkey. They need new experienced midfielders.
I mean, what happened to Foden? He should regain his form.
Yeah, till then.
Well,
so
until
the thing
Foden is back.
The speech Biodun made about Liverpool is actually the speech I was going to make about City.
Which is?
Pep is back with his wife. And they're buying all these players. Next season will be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Biodun, you said we are fighting for second spot. I think we're fighting for maybe third spot and below.
Wow.
If Liverpool completed Florian Wirtz's deal and they bought a new striker,
man,
they will be the strongest.
You don't think Pep is stronger?
No, I think it's going to be Liverpool.
I think if Pep's personal life is good, I think it's going to be the stronger option.
It will take a while for all these new boys. Remember, it took a while to create that team that is now hold. It will need some time to bring them together.
Yeah,
but it still has some
Liverpool already has
players like Doku, Savinho. They're still finding their way as well. So it's a good start. They'll compete for top four for sure. They'll probably even be close to the title. I mean, look at it. Even with how terrible their season, quote unquote, was, they were only 3 points behind Arsenal. So
yeah,
they ended up third. So even a bad Pep side is still a formidable challenge.
Yeah.
Now imagine a good one. That's my point.
Yeah. All right, that's the top 4 teams as the league ended.
Did you talk about
all making moves? Well, yeah. Now let's talk about Arsenal.
The Gunners.
So I think Arsenal has done some clearance work. So Tierney we know has left. Sterling is definitely going back to Chelsea. Who else has left for sure?
So
Jorginho is leaving as well. Yeah.
Actually, just to put it this way, 20 players were released today.
But those were across
academy. No, we need to talk about. I mean, people might not know them, but people like Oyedeji Butler, right?
Yeah.
Salah, Gowan, like these were boys that were on the bench.
Throughout this season
for Champions League bench.
Yeah.
And it's sad that they didn't get a chance. I mean,
I don't think those boys didn't get a chance. I think they're just not at the level, right? If you look at Nathan Butler or ADG, he's 22, right? He's not a young player. And when he came on, he wasn't a difference maker. So at 22, if you're not able to make the difference in a club like Arsenal, that means you're not at the level where you're ready to help us win the title. You're not at the level to help us win the Champions League. I don't see the point of renewing his contract. He's not going to get playing time over Havertz.
Yeah.
And we already know we need an upgrade on Havertz. So what are we doing, right?
So these guys are always going to be jobless?
They will find new clubs. I mean, you look at the likes of who is this guy? Mika Barrett. I don't know if you guys know who Mika Barrett is.
Exactly. We made that mistake. We made that mistake.
Consider it a mistake. Like those guys will have good careers, but they're just not at the level of what Arsenal needs right now. It's just unfortunate we had injuries. So maybe if we had Mika or we had Balogun, maybe they would have helped this season. But when you look at your squad and you're shaping your squad, those aren't the players you want necessarily in your squad. Okay. There are good options.
Talk about what next, right? I'm not again. That's his decision. Let's talk about what next. Give me a minute to just address Arteta's approach.
We'll give you 30 seconds. We're going to give you a whole minute.
30 seconds.
I think Arteta should be questioned
25 seconds.
for what has happened in the last 3 seasons.
20
Okay.
seconds.
And you have to defend him. When I stop talking, you have to defend him by telling me the young players that he has developed. And I'm not talking about the ones that he inherited. He inherited Saka.
I'll take a break on this one.
Excuse me. He inherited Saliba, right? The ones that he bought with his own hands, the young players that he said this is part of the project, none of them succeeded. Albert Sabi Lokonga, Tavares, Fabio. Those were the young players that he bought that he said they fit into his project of 2021, 22, 23, whatever. None of them succeeded. Marquinhos as well, the Brazilian who is now being sold. So I think Arteta needs to answer for all these questions about can he really develop young players? And that takes me back to the conversation around Sesko. Because now I don't know whether it's intentional or Arsenal is at the crossroad of choosing between Sesko and Gyökeres. I get your point about Gyökeres playing in the Portuguese league and looking at like Núñez and Fabio and people that came from there and they didn't succeed, right? It goes either way. We've seen players that also come from there that succeeded. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Also, is 26 is going to be 27 soon, Gyökeres. Is he also looking at the age to like, okay, how many years is this guy going to give me compared to Sesko, who is 22? That's going to give me. I also looked at the height. Sesko is 6'7". Havertz is probably the tallest. So Sesko is going to be taller than Havertz. It fits into our corner kick strategy. You people might talk about that, but that's your problem. But it fits into our corner kick strategy. It fits into a player that is tall that can compete with those crazy defenders at Newcastle. You know. But you look at Gyökeres is tall as well, but I think it's like 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. Or even maybe 6. So
I think 6'4".
Maybe that's why they are prioritizing Sesko over Gyökeres. I don't know the answer, but we will find out. But to be honest, who do I really want? I think I want Gyökeres because of the experience and the age. I need somebody that can quickly deliver. Sesko, is it going to be part of the agendas project that is going to happen? Is not going to happen. 5 years, he has not happened. You understand? So I think people are losing patience and they are questioning his ability to actually develop young players. How you respond?
Okay, so I'll start by saying, personally, I've told you I like Arteta, but I am not hung on Arteta. I already told you if you will get me Zidane, I'm ready for Arteta to leave. I've been saying that for the last 2 seasons.
That guy doesn't want to coach you.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to get Zidane. But if you will get me someone like Zidane and Ancelotti, I am not hung on Arteta, right? But again, Biodun, I feel like you put bias in when you talk about players. You conveniently left out Odegaard. You conveniently left out the fact that Saka was a left back when Arteta arrived, and he has developed. Wait, let me finish. You spoke. Let me respond. Let me respond. Yeah. You left out Odegaard. Odegaard had a fantastic season last season. Yes, he was poor this season. He was injured for 2 to 3 months. You left out Declan Rice. He signed Declan Rice, right? That's a player signed under Arteta, right? Saliba was out for a while before he brought him back and said, yes, this guy is ready. And we've seen what Saliba is, right? So Miles Lewis-Skelly, Nwaneri, like there are players that are developing under Arteta, but that is not the point. At the end of the day, right, we want to win. So for me, that's what it comes down to. Now, we know we need a striker. I haven't seen much of Gyökeres. I have seen Sesko, and I believe Sesko has a higher ceiling than Gyökeres. He's also younger, more time to develop. But at the end of the day, to me, also, it doesn't matter. We need a striker. I would like to see Havertz play in actually that 10 role as a supporting striker. I think Odegaard needs to be benched sometimes, and we need a different option sometimes and have Havertz play as a second striker. But we need a focal person who will sometimes start over Havertz, or I'm not even going to mention Jesus. We need a striker. So whether it's Sesko, whether it's Gyökeres, whether it's Isak, whether it's even Núñez.
Are you worried? Are you worried that
get me somebody?
Are you worried that what we are trying to build will be neutralized? What do I mean by that? So if we get Sesko, somebody else gets Gyökeres, somebody in EPL gets Gyökeres. Honestly, I'm worried because
you mean Chelsea.
We're trying to get an edge. We're trying to get ahead of every other club.
Charles, you said you were going to see this out.
So if Gyökeres then goes to a club like Chelsea or goes to a club like Liverpool, would that be a problem for us?
I think all this
even Man United.
it will be a problem, right? But at the end of the day, every club is going to sign players, is going to strengthen. So I don't think we need to be concerned about that. I think we need to focus on what we need to do, which is get in a top striker, somebody who can actually score. Okay. And that's it. And focus on ourselves. Right.
I want to say something real quick, just to add this. I like your opinion on Gyökeres, Ayo, in the sense of you're not a big fan. It's a generalistic opinion because you've seen other players of the Portuguese league, like the Núñez, come in and not perform. That's just my take on. That's also my take on the German league.
Mm-hmm.
Werner, Kai Havertz, I'm not really sold on when they come to Premier League if they will perform. Alan is an anomaly. Came from the German league and he's performing. You understand? So
that's not the only example, though.
I mean, there are lots of examples from both leagues that have succeeded.
Jude Bellingham, that's another good example.
But no, I'm talking about EPL now, coming to EPL and performing, not anywhere else. So I think this is just me. I think whoever gets Gyökeres, I think Gyökeres is coming to the Premier League for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
You're sure?
He said today that he feels at home. We don't know whether it's cryptic and he's trying to say he wants to stay at Lisbon. We don't know.
I think he's coming to the Premier League this summer. And of course, rumors I've heard is he's the next online for Chelsea if the Osimhen deal does not happen. And as of today, we are hearing Osimhen is probably going to Saudi. It's still not rumor, but that's what we're hearing because they can afford what he wants. So whoever signs Gyökeres, I think it's going to be a big deal. And I've watched Gyökeres, and I'm not no beef on Sesko. I've not watched Sesko enough. I've watched a little of him, and I think Sesko is good because he's young. I think that's one thing he has over Gyökeres. I actually think if I were in Arteta's shoes, I'll go for Gyökeres. Arteta doesn't need a young player. In that striker role, he needs someone which is what Biodun is saying, who is experienced, who can deliver, hit the ball running.
Win a trophy this season.
Running. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think Arteta should go for Gyökeres if he wants instant results. Now, Sesko may come and hit the ground running also. We don't know, but the age factor is...
That boy will.
Okay, cool. But in my opinion, I think Gyökeres is coming to the EPL this summer. I think Gyökeres is going to have a Haaland first season-like season if it comes to the EPL. That's just my thoughts. But hey, we'll see what happens. And hey, if Osimhen doesn't come Chelsea, it's going to be Gyökeres. We're getting a victor. We're going to be victorious.
So Chelsea,
but you guys have signed the lap, so you're going to...
Wait, Chelsea is bent on getting another striker after the lap? Like for real?
Yes, now. Bro, why
you see the arrogance of this guy to say yes now?
I know.
Why in the Champions
They never hit 2 billion away.
In Champions League, you need all lands on there.
That's true.
You know, we're not in Conference League, we're not in Europa. Why not all those things?
Look at this guy.
You're G with the big boys now.
Wow, you're chilling with the big boys.
In the Champions League, boys. What are you talking about? So on the much note though, you guys watch out for Gyökeres. Whoever signs him, now the worst thing that can happen, well, it's not gonna happen. But the worst that can happen is for Liverpool to pick up Gyökeres for any reason.
That's why I brought up that Núñez conversation at the beginning.
Because if they dare let go of Núñez,
we're in trouble.
Sign Gyökeres,
that's it. Forget the league.
Then I'll pick them as the league winners above.
Forget the league.
Yeah, because Gyökeres is not. I mean, Liverpool is saying that the striker doesn't need to be extra good. The striker has to be very, very bad not to score like Núñez. You don't have to be phenomenal. You have like a McAllister, Salah providing you assists. You're going to get the ball. You understand? It's just for you to use your common sense. And that's one thing Núñez has not done in the past 3 years. So the striker doesn't have to be extraordinarily good to actually perform in Liverpool. And I think Gyökeres is actually extraordinarily good. So if he signs for Liverpool, forget it.
All right,
so that's what I have to be going for, in my opinion.
Cool. All right. We've looked at what the top 4 clubs are doing. Next week, we'll probably have some more news on them and probably Newcastle and Villa and see what moves they're making. And we'll also be talking about the Club World Cup. So stay tuned. Come back to us same time again next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you haven't yet clicked that subscribe and like button, please do it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Till next week.
All right.